Neato. The following week, we searched the school for a teacher who would become our advisor.
すまんな。お前たちの気持ちはわかるんだが、俺も演劇部の顧問やってるから。
Drama club.
先生が演劇なんて似合わない。そうだそうだ。
うるさいよ。俺は今でこそ慶風学園で教師やってるが、本当は芸術家志望だったんだ。芸術はいいぞ。お前らもグライダーなんかやめて演劇部に入れ。
Sounds like too much drama.
嫌です。
Even though I do have a couple of drama queens staring at me in the face right now.
お断りです。
先生ちょっと気づいて。
Be hurt then, bitch. The teacher left with hurt feelings and we dropped our shoulders. By the way, that was our homeroom teacher, so this conversation technically already happened. I'm surprised it's so different because it's not letting me skip it.
やっぱダメか。
This isn't going very well. We tried to convince the teachers who seemed potentially cooperative by any means necessary, but it wasn't going well at all. We were looking for an advisor even before Asachan and Yoruchan joined the circle. Since that time, no new teachers joined the faculty, so our hopes were rather faint.
あいつが裏から圧力をかけてい
Fucking
る。
tapioca, man. Katori snorted with an angry expression.
でしょうね。断る時の先生らの困った顔ったらないもの。
We could probably find someone with the necessary qualifications outside of school, but
それも顧問が見つかったら。
exactly.
話ね。
When we went to the gliding grounds yesterday, I checked with people from the local soaring circle, and some of them were interested. Due to the fact that gliders require quite a bit of money and activities can only be held in select places, the average age of people at the gliding grounds was rather high. Plenty of them would pitch in and help with instructing younger people. Incidentally, it's also rare for young girls to participate actively.
とはいえ、片道何時間もかけて来てもらうとなると結構大変だし。
Well, you're right, but it was still better than nothing. While we were talking about it and walking down the corridor... Oh, go dry up in a ditch, you son of a bitch.
飛びよか。
Tapioca! Agaha added the honorific that Chitori omitted. Tapioca blocked our path as if he had been waiting for us. Oh yeah? Who told you that shit?
別に無理なお願いじゃありません。
もうそろそろ諦めたらどうだ？お前らのような札付きの不良生徒に
Yeah, we'll see about that, bitch.
先生はいないぞ。
Tapioca said triumphantly. He brings that up at every opportunity. Apparently, he holds a serious grudge against us for halting the demolition of the garage.
せいぜい頑張ることだな。
言われなくてもそうするわ。
Yeah, fuck off. When Katori glared back at him, Tapioca seemed unamused and frowned. Then he started walking. When he passed us, he said,
まあ、もう無駄な努力なんだがな。
Fuck you! He whispered to himself, but loudly enough for us to hear him, and then disappeared down the hallway.
何あれ。
It was him being an asshole, don't mind him. Who knows? Don't pay too much attention to him, you only get angry.
でもなんだろう。無駄な
Because
努
being
力。
an asshole, that's what he means.
また適当なこと言って私らにプレッシャーかけたいんでしょ。そうはいきますかって。
He's just trying to ruin our hopes and dreams. Fuck that guy.
さあ帰りましょう。
Home again, jiggity jir, dimma-da-dibba-da-doo. But it wasn't a mere threat. A few days later...
というわけなんだ。
Uh-oh. Is that for real?
ああ、マジらしい。
葵くん。
Yeah? The information Masatsugu brought was shocking. Once again, there's a movement among the teachers to demolish the garage. Apparently they want to get rid of the abandoned garage since no one was using it. It seems that this time it wasn't Tapioca's suggestion, but of course, he's pushing this plan forward.
グライダーはどうなっちゃうの。ガレージがなくなったら置き場所がなくなっちゃう。
それもなんか言ってたな。確か市の博物館に寄贈す
Okay.
るとかなんとか。
Are they still going to demolish the garage and we're going to steal the glider, but we're actually going to get to see it this time? That'd be interesting.
人のもの勝手にあげ
It's
ちゃ
my
う
glider, bitch!
俺に言うなよ。
This glider was built by the former soaring club. They used it 27 years ago to fly and photograph the morning glory. That's why it wouldn't be wrong to say it belongs to the soaring club, but it was abandoned. It was Amane Senpai and the others who repaired it and restored it. And now the main wings and a few other elements were built from scratch by us. Most of the expenses were covered by Amane Senpai.
自作のグライダーってのが珍しいってんで博物館の方が欲しがったらしい。
Fuck off, museum, it's my glider. That's not something to decorate a museum with. It's a functional glider that can still fly, bitch.
怖い顔すんなよ。そう言うだろうと思ったからわざわざ教えに来てやったんじゃねえか。
Sorry. Masatsuga happened to hear these things by chance, thanks to his work with the student council. Then he came running to tell us.
俺から聞いたって誰にも言うなよ。
Too
あか
late!
りさんに嫌われるのだけは勘弁だからな。
Yeah, got it. Thanks, Mobo.
まあ腐れ縁だからな。後でブーブー文句言われんのもめんどくせえし。
Whatever, Masad.
どうしよう葵
I'm
くん
gonna save the world. Put my mind into high gear, thinking about what to do. My first thought was to occupy the garage like last time. As I considered that, I looked at Katori. If we do the same thing again, our punishment will be more severe. I'd be fine, but she... Last year when we were suspended, the school contacted our parents about the whole situation. Agaha and I got a really harsh lecture, but our parents understood why we had caused this whole mess. But Katori's family was different. Her parents were quite shocked that the daughter they raised to be a lady would cause such an incident. Katori hasn't said anything, but heard from Hibari-san that they nearly pulled Katori from the school. Katori was really anxious about worrying her parents. At the very least, we have to get our glider back.
ええあの機体は私たちがあまねちゃんと一緒に
Fuck
飛ん
yeah,
だ
it is.
大切なグライダーなんだもの
As we were brooding over it with the gloomy expressions, a sound of heavy footsteps echoed from the hallway. They continued until someone fiercely knocked on the door and opened it without waiting for a reply.
ビッグニュースビッグニュース
Oh shit, what? Agaha dashed into the room in a strange expression on her face. If it's about the garage, we just heard about it.
は何それ
Uh-oh. You didn't hear about it? It's not that. We just heard from a
そんなのあとあと
But can it? Agaha interrupted me.
あまね先輩が
Oh shit! But why? What do you mean?
特別授業の講師として給付が
Oh hell yeah! Let's go, dude. That was big news indeed, like a bolt of lightning out of the sky. Hell yeah. So are we gonna save the glider by just having her back? Like we don't need to save the garage too? Or I don't know. We'll just find out, I guess. Mm.
それって新型風車建造プロジェクトに慶風学園の学生が参加するっていうあれじゃないかしら
Right, that whole windmill project thing. Right. After dinner, everybody gathered in the dining room in the dormitory, and we held an emergency meeting for the soaring circle. The main subjects were the rumors about the plans to demolish the garage, which Matsuku told us, and about Mane Senpai coming back, which Agatha had heard about. New windmill model construction project?
風車の他に新しいデザインの風車を建てるのそんなの作るんだそのプロジェクトに特別実習って形でうちの学生も参加させようって話よその実習の講師をあまねちゃんがやるのどうもそうらしいわねなんでヨルちゃんそんなことまで知ってるのそのプロジェクトにお金出してるの
Hell
うちの
yeah.
祖父だから学校のいい宣伝になるしね私も実習に参加しろって言われたけど興味ないから断った
Don't lie, you want to work for Amane, you just don't know it yet.
全然知らなかったなんであまねちゃんなのさあそこまではけどどうやら本当みたいね
Katori, Agaha, and I looked at each other. Amane Senpai is coming back? That's what we were thinking.
ねえあまねちゃんに頼めないかな
Fuck yeah, it
顧問の
does.
話だって講師ってことは先生じゃないあまねちゃんなら必要な資格も全部持って
Damn right she does. Katori and Agaha nodded at each other and both looked at me seeking agreement. I think it'd be great, but I wonder if it'll go smoothly.
行くわだってあのあまねちゃん
No,
が
no, no,
似合
no.
って
Let me
るはずない
rephrase that for you. Amane-chan wouldn't refuse me.
あのガレージを何年間も一人で守り続けた人だもんねそうなると万事解決ですね
If the soaring club is restored, we'd get the garage and the glider back. Everything will be like it was before.
頼んでみる価値はあるよね。
Everybody nodded in agreement with Agatha. Alright then. Amane Senpai! Please be our advisor, please! After taking a bath, I went back to my room and sat on the bed. Amane Senpai's coming back. Here, to Kazagara, in an unexpected way. It's sudden and unforeseen. That's just like her. I'll meet Senpai again. Yay! Yeah, buddy. I love you, Senpai. I wanted to let you know how I feel at the very least. Oh yeah. The feelings I confessed at that time still remain in my heart. My beloved Senpai. However, we haven't spoken since then. Katori, as our representative, has been sending her emails from time to time, reporting our current situation. But since we haven't been able to hold proper activities at the moment, the number of those emails has decreased. And we hadn't been receiving too many replies from her either. It seems she's busy, so she probably doesn't have time to look after us after graduating. Besides, those are mostly things that I don't need anyway, so I'll just leave behind anything I can't carry. That's what she said and left most of her things in the garage. Among them were the designs of a new glider which she had finished after all those years, and the photo of the morning glory that had started it all. She left her memories behind, as if she didn't need them anymore, and most of those things are still in the garage. It's like they were sealed in something that shouldn't be brought out. Katori said that if we asked Amane Senpai to become our advisor, she would do it for sure, but I wonder if that'll actually be the case. She might have changed. I grabbed the framed picture from my desk. It's a photo that we all took together after we came back from our last flight. Among the club members grinning happily with a sense of achievement, Senpai was the only one with an awkward smile. Maybe she's just not good at smiling, or maybe there was a reason why she couldn't smile from the bottom of her heart. I laid down on my bed and looked at the ceiling. This is kind of painful. This feeling was different from loneliness or bitterness. I guess they come from special feelings I have for her after all. Amane Senpai is coming back. I had been pretending to be calm ever since I heard the news, but in reality my heart had been pounding non-stop. Ooh, can't wait for some Amane Senpai, oh yeah. The next day I went to school by myself. I overslept and it was quite late after I finished up my work in the dormitory. Katori went to school ahead of me with Agatha. Damn, they're so heartless. How could they be so heartless? I complained and grumbled as I walked to school. The weather this morning was also very nice, but when I looked up at the sky I only felt irritated that I still couldn't fly. An airplane. A plane was flying across the light blue sky, leaving contrails behind. It's strange that when you look at a plane from the ground, it seems almost stationary, even though it actually flies at a high speed. On the way to school, there was someone looking up at the sky absent-mindedly, just like me. She didn't seem to notice she was in the way of the passerby, and was just standing there and looking up in a daze. Huh? Guess who? Amane Senpai! Hell yeah! It was Amane Senpai. I was surprised, and it looked like Senpai was as well, judging from her expression. That's from. Our eyes met from 10 meters away. Long time no see, Senpai, baby.
Yeah, 久しぶり。
Why are you here?
ちょっと学校に用事があってな。
Could it be about becoming a lecturer?
よく知ってるな。その下準備のために呼ばれたんだ。
So Agatha's story was true. I wasn't prepared to meet her so suddenly, so the mood became awkward. So, you're going to school, right? Can I come with you?
ああ、構わないぞ。
And I don't mind either, baby. We started walking together. She hasn't changed much. She was already an adult, so it's not like she would change that much in just a year. But I felt like she was calmer than before, and she seemed more mature.
元気だったかい？
I'm good. How about you, baby?
元気だ。
You actually ate some
今朝も
food?
ご飯を3杯もお
Crazy.
かわりした。
You still eat a lot.
3日ほど何も食べていなかったんだ。3日分と考えれば
3 bowls is not enough for 3 days, okay? She still concentrates so hard that she forgets to eat. Well, while I was glad Senpai hasn't changed, I felt a little lonely when I heard she had been enjoying life without me. So, are you busy?
ああ、
She nodded instantly. Figures. She's a working adult now. I hesitated for a moment and then started talking. Do you have time today? Like, even a little?
ないこともないが。
We want to discuss something important with you. Could you make time for us after school? She stared at me in puzzlement.
おう。構わないぞ。
Cool! I'll even cook you dinner! After school. Members of the Soaring Club were waiting for Amane Senpai in the vacant classroom.
遅いな。
Oh, she'll be there.
本当に来るの？
She said she was, but it wasn't impossible that she got engrossed in something and forgot our promise.
ドキドキします。
You better be.
慶風学園の生きる伝説と呼ばれていた方なんですよね。天才だっていう話だし。天才っていうか、もうね、天然時々天才って感じね。ボケボケーっとしてて子供みたいな人よ。
As Katori explained warmly, Asa-chan and Yoru-chan, who haven't met Senpai yet, must have been wondering what kind of weird person she is. Or is she? Well, she actually was quite weird. While we were talking like that, the classroom door opened,
いや、
and my bae is here.
あまねちゃん、あまね先輩。
Tori and Agatha smiled. Asa-chan and Yoru-chan meekly stared at that natural airhead who's a genius at times.
みんな久しぶりだな。元気だったか？うん、元気だったよ。
Tori was delighted, like a faithful dog that just got praised by its master. If she had a tail, it definitely would have wagged.
先輩も元気そうで。今朝までは元気だったんだろうな。久しぶりに学校に来て先生たちに会って肩が凝ったよ。
She rubbed her shoulders like an old lady.
本当にあまねちゃんが講師やるんだ。ああ、そうだぞ。今度学校で会った時はあまねちゃんではなく。
Yeah, you call me Amane-chan again, and I'll smack your face, bitch. She said proudly.
うん、なんか偉そう。あまねちゃんのくせに。
Even though you're just Amane-chan, bitch.
偉そうなのはあんただ。でも先輩、どうして先輩が講師をするんですか？新しいコンセプトでデザインされた風車を建造。その風車のデザイン。
Yeah, dude, she made the windmill. Duh. As she said this like it was nothing, everyone was amazed.
よくわかんないけど、すごそう。ね、朝、すごいでしょ、あまねちゃん。
Isn't she awesome?
はい。なんだかよくわかります。
I don't get it, but yeah, sure.
いやー、参ったよ。グライダー制作で得た知識を応用して試しに風車をデザインしてみたんだが、それがラボの人間に見つかってしまってな。気がついたら作ることになっていた。
Those bastards.
おかげで仕事が増えてしまったが。
She said it like she was really bothered by it. It seemed like she wasn't too happy about doing this work. But it's thanks to this that we could meet up with her again.
ところで、話ってなんだい？
Everyone was happy to see Senpai after such a long time, but the atmosphere instantly turned serious.
実はね、あまねちゃん。
First, Katori explained the current circumstances of the Soaring Club. Everything that had happened since she left. How our club had been downgraded to a circle after we occupied the garage over a year ago, and what our current activities were. Honestly, it wasn't a pretty story. She was listening in silence without showing anger or sadness.
けど、後輩も入ったのよ。朝と夜。夜はおまけみたいなもんだけど、でも、いろいろ協力してくれてるわ。
Senpai stared at Asa-chan and Yoru-chan like the twins were something new to her.
風と朝です。妹の夜です。望月あまねだ。よろしくな。いつも小鳥先輩たちからお噂を聞いていました。伝説の先輩なんですよね。
Asa-chan said it with sparkling eyes, as if Amane was a celebrity.
なんだろう、伝説って。
Senpai tilted her head in wonder. She seemed like she wasn't aware of her legendary status.
話はそれだけ
No,
な
no,
の
no,
か
no, no, no.
違うわ。実はまたガレージの取り壊しの話が出てるんです。それだけじゃないわ。私たちのグライダーを市の博物館に寄贈しようとしてるの。私たちそれをどうにか阻止したいんです。 そのためには同好会じゃなく部活動として認めてもらうしかないんですけど、顧問になってくれる先生がいなくて。だからお願いあまねちゃん、私たちの顧問になって。
Katori asked her resolutely. Amane Senpai was lost in thought for a while. She looked at our faces one by one.
それを阻止してどうするんだい？どうって、あのガレージは私たちと先輩が過ごした大切な場所じゃないですか。
She looked at us with a troubled expression. I remembered how she looked when she was walking away after she left all of her things in the garage.
ガレージを守りたいから部活動として認められたいのかい？違うわ、それもあるけど、私たちには目標があるんです。あの日飛べなかったモーニンググローリーを今度こそ飛びたいっていう、そのために準備もしてきました。準備？
We analyzed the designs you had left and have been planning the production process.
グライダーのこともいっぱい勉強したわ。あまねちゃんがいなくったって作れるように。それで機体の改良は実現できるって確信しました。
We also decided to rework the flight plan to reach the morning glory.
思い出だけじゃない、私たち守りたいの。あの日あまねちゃんと一緒に見た夢を。
Katori's eyes were filled with tears. As she looked into her wet but straight and serious eyes, Amane Senpai seemed moved. After all, Senpai was supposed to have similar feelings. However...
もうやめた方がいい。
What? This is not the Amane Senpai I know. She said it weakly.
なんでよ、あまねちゃん。モーニンググローリーはもう来ない。
What do you mean? She said that to persuade us.
去年の夏、あの雲は風ヶ浦の空に現れた。その希少な現象がまたすぐに起こってくれるとは考えにくいと思わないかい？そんなのわからないわ。だってどうして起こるのか理由は解明されていないんでしょ。だったら私はまた現れてくれるって信じる。
Amane Senpai looked at Katori with incredible sadness in her eyes. Katori hadn't flinched and stared back at her earnestly.
ごめん。やっぱりできない。
But why?
君たちには大きな恩があるし、協力したいとは思うんだが。やっぱり、お忙しいんでしょうか?
Agaha said that because she probably wanted Amane to give a good excuse for not being able to do it. But Senpai?
今の私は君たちと
But
同じ思いはでき
why?
ないんだ。
She said the last thing that we wanted to hear. With that, the conversation was over. That's the saddest thing I've ever seen. What the F, Amane?
What?
Ah, here you are. Katori was in the Flying Fish Manor's garden, spacing out with Hat on her lap. You calmed down? Katori stayed silent, but that meant yes. After she had heard those hopeless words from Amane Senpai, Katori went to her room in the dorm and cried. She held her tears back for so long because of her pride. But as soon as she shut the door, she cried so hard her weeping could be heard from outside.
あまねちゃんがあんな人だったなんて思わなかった。
Me neither. She said that as if she had misjudged her. I think Senpai has her reasons. I don't think what she said was just a pretext. If it were, she wouldn't refuse us giving a reason like that. She could have said that she couldn't do it because she's busy. Back then, when Amane Senpai looked at Katori with such sad eyes, I've never seen her eyes look like that.
変わっちゃったのかな?
Probably. I'm not sure. I don't think she discarded everything.
どうして?
When you said you want to protect the dream we had together, it seemed like it swayed her feelings. It might have been. Wait, what? Okay, let me pretend I know what this is supposed to say, because it might have been be my mistake is not correct. It might have been my mistake. I think the B didn't need to be there. Or something that I had just imagined because I really wanted it to be true. But to me, it had certainly looked like she was moved. I told you that I met her at the garage on the last day of summer break, right?
ええ
On the day Senpai left. She tried to leave without saying goodbye to anyone. You know, on that day, I confessed to her. I told her that I loved her.
そうだったんだ。葵くん、あまねちゃんのこと好きだったんだ。
Yeah. Even though I hadn't seen her since then, my feelings hadn't changed. Today, when I met her after all this time, I recognized it anew. I still loved her. Well, in the end, she dumped me.
じゃあ、今日のこと、
Well, it was shocking, all right. I said it as if we were talking about someone else.
ごめんね。私ばっかり泣いちゃって。私ダメだ。すぐ自分のことで手いっぱいになっちゃって。
You and your big lying ass nose that you can barely see on your face. Nah, it's okay. When you cried, it made me clear my mind.
そっか。葵くんはあまねちゃんが好きだったんだ。
Hell yeah,
でも、なんでそんな話してくれるの？
No particular reason. Maybe I just felt lonely and wanted someone to know. What happened today was probably more shocking than I thought.
なんか嬉しい。友情って感じ。
Uh-huh. When I saw Katori smiling awkwardly, it made me feel a little better. Last year when we flew to the Morning Glory, Senpai said at the end that this was goodbye. She whispered that as she looked from the cockpit at the vanishing passage of clouds, she seemed lonely, but also somehow refreshed. I think that the dream of the glider in Isuka-san became a memory of the past for her already.
私たちももう思い出の中にしかいないんだ。
As Katori murmured that sadly, Hat looked up as he was concerned about her. Alright, where's Amane at? Time to go confess our love again. Start it all over. A few days had passed since Amane Senpai refused to become our supervisor. We were approaching the day when the garage was supposed to be demolished and our glider donated to the museum. After school, we waited until the students who didn't have any club activities went home, and then gathered in a classroom.
こうなったらやるしかないわ。うん、そうだね。ガレージはともかく。グライ
Are
ダ
we
ーだ
still gonna go through with the stealing the glider thing that I keep thinking is gonna happen?
葵？どうしたの？ずっと黙っちゃって。
I was just thinking if there was another way.
あればこんな話してないわよ。もう時間がないんだよ。
Yeah, but there's no doubt we would be punished. And then I looked at Katori. She probably realized why I was looking at her like that, and she responded sullenly.
私のことなら気にしないでいいわ。
But this time you might be... Won't her parents force her to drop out of school? Katori's family circumstances are quite complicated.
そうしないと私たちのグライダーが持ってかれ
And we
ちゃう
can't
の
let those bastards win, I agree.
でもそのせいで小鳥がいなくなっちゃうのはそんなことにはならないわ。絶対にさせない。だから
We could make a new glider from scratch, and we could also find a place for our activity somewhere else.
二人とも何よ。そんなの
I didn't ask you what you wanted, I was
絶対
telling you how it's
嫌な
gonna
んだ
be.
からね。
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
あのグライダーはあの翼は私たちが。ああ、ごめんごめん。悪かったから。
Please don't cry.
泣いてないもん。
You're crying. Anyway, we should make the necessary preparations as discreetly as possible. We can't leave any evidence, so even if we're found out, we can play dumb. Gotta play dumb diddy dum dum ba 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 ba. After school, I was loitering around the campus planning the operation to take back the glider. The garage isn't in plain sight, so if we had the key, sneaking in should be easy. Problem is carrying out that big glider without being seen. We have no choice but to open the lock during the day and carry it out at night. The garage is outside of the school building and isn't being used. There isn't anything important in there, so they shouldn't be checking its lock while closing the school. How could we carry out such a large and heavy glider? This time, we can't rely on Anchan's help.
葵くん。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh! Amane Senpai! Amane Senpai came out of the school building. Students who knew her were looking at her in surprise. Did you have another meeting?
ああ、受講希望者が予定よりも多くなりそうだから、行動を使ってやれないかと提案されて。けど、 私は先生なんてしたことないからな。あまり大きなところでやるのは嫌だと話してきたんだ。
That sounds nice. I wish I could try out for your classes. Or try out your classes.
葵くんならいつでもいいぞ。これから風車の建設予定地の下見に行
Oh
くわ。
shit.
まあ
Like a
だから
date?
一緒に来るか？
Are we going on a date right now? Can I?
うん、もちろんだ。
She quickly agreed and started walking ahead of me. She just wanted to show me the other side of her, if you know what I'm saying. So it's going to be built here? I absentmindedly gazed at the hill over which the wind was blowing.
いくつか候補となってる場所があるんだが、その中でどこが一番いいか。
Senpai looked at the hill with a serious expression. A lot of windmills were in motion, being spun by the wind from the lake. Are you going to work on one until it's finished like these?
いや、私は風車のデザインをするだけだ。プロジェクトそのものは他の人が仕切ることになっている。
Okay. She said, but made a little pause and climbed the gently sloping hill.
私からも何か提案できることがあるかもしれないと思ってな。
You're really a hard worker.
そうか？
She does what she can, even if it's not her job. She doesn't brag or complain about it. She's that kind of person.
働き者は葵くんだと思うがな。
I'm just meddlesome.
そうか。
She laughed happily for some reason. My heart skipped a beat when I saw her smile. Oh yeah. I walked around the windmill hill with her for a while. She was looking for suitable places other than the ones that were already suggested.
こんなところか。
She finished writing in her notebook and closed it with a snap. Have you found what you needed?
まあまあかな。
She answered vaguely, then she looked around the hill. We were in the middle of the slope.
やっぱりいいな、ここ。風が気持ちいい。
She said this and narrowed her eyes as she basked in the breeze.
ここへ来るのはこの日以来。
That day? You know what day. She looked at me, puzzled.
あの日じゃないか。ほら、君たちが私の
Oh,
仕事
that
使い
day.
をしてくれた。
Right, right. That's the one. Ah. It's not like I had forgotten about it, but that day didn't bring that topic to my mind right away. I certainly did take her outside that day while everybody was preparing the surprise party. I took her here to buy some time. You still remember it?
覚えているぞ。
She said casually as she enjoyed the scenery. Her words made my heart flutter again. Then our kiss that day.
ここは変わらないな。時間をゆったりと流れている。
She said this to herself and spread her arms to feel the wind. Have you changed, Senpai? I asked her without thinking. Your feelings, have they changed since that day?
この間の話をしているのかい？
I nodded.
そうかもしれない。もう学生ではないからな。
So something has changed because you're not a student anymore?
そういうものらしい。
I'm still a student and there's quite some time until I graduate. I might even apply to college. At the moment, I couldn't even imagine myself not being a student.
正直、私もまだよくわかっていないんだ。けれど、今まで迷惑をかけていた分、早く大人にならなくちゃと思ってる。
A much older girl who still acts like a kid. That's the senpai I fell in love with. It's very selfish for me to wish she wouldn't change at all. I know that, but I still feel irritated.
君たちには大きな恩がある。だから、
You
返せる
can
なら
pay
返
us
したい
back, though.
けど、私の目から見ても、今さら無理に
But
プライダ
why?
ーを飛ばそうとするのは
Do tell.
正しいことではないように思うんだ。夢中になれるものなら、きっと他にもあるさ。たまたまそれがグライダーだっただけで。
I think so too. But a part of me thinks that's not the case. The garage and glider are very important to us. All that fun time I had spent with Mochizuki Amane, my beloved senpai, is irreplaceable to me. So you turned down the offer to become our advisor because you think we are wrong?
そういうことになるのかな。
She said apologetically. I understood what she was saying. It was a normal thing an adult would say. But it made me very angry. because Mochizuki Amane stated such an adult-like, reasonable opinion. How dare she? I'm not really sure what is right or wrong, but I don't want anyone else to decide what is right for me. When I was flying with you, my heart was pounding. When I was building the glider with everyone, I was always excited. We could keep on going after the club lost its status because aiming for the sky was fun. Haven't you felt the same way, Senpai? Were we wrong back then? The dream I shared with Senpai? The emotions I felt when we flew for the first time? The frustration I felt when we came so close to our goal and failed? I want to take you to the place that we couldn't reach that day. Is it wrong that I still feel that way? I asked her, half pleading. She looked away with a troubled expression. She didn't say anything after that. Is it really so wrong that I love you? Take a sip of this water. Hi, I'm back. It's nothing. After that, I saw Senpai off at the bus stop and came home. We didn't talk much along the way, so it was extremely awkward. I was very upset by the fact that Senpai acted like an adult, that I said all that stuff to her in anger, that she never gave me an answer. I was angry at so many things. So very many things made me feel so very angry. What plan? We don't have time. We should carry it out tomorrow. Even if the glider was already a thing of the past for Senpai, for us it was still very important. Fuck Senpai! We got this! After I said goodbye to Aoi-kun, I didn't get on the bus, before I realized I was heading to the runway. Nobody had used it in a while, so the vast plain was overgrown with grass. Wait, whoa, we're Amane all of a sudden, and it just occurred to me. Okay. I remembered us cutting the grass here, drenched with sweat. But if we hadn't done it, the glider's wheels would have gotten entwined with the long grass. It was necessary work in order for us to fly. Isn't that Amane? Oh shit, is that Anchan? Yo, it's Tatsuya! Was standing behind the winch and waving at me. I wanted to be alone, so I hesitated for a moment, but in the end I walked up to him.
何してるんだこんなところで。
散歩かな。達也は？
こいつのメンテだ。
As he said that, he opened the cover of the winch.
達也がやっているのか？
あいつらは自分たちでもやってるけど心配だからな。時々見に来てるんだ。
そうなのか。
どうした？なんか元気ないな。
I nodded and looked down as Tatsuya watched me with concern.
お前、顧問の話断ったんだって？
どうしてそれを？
アゲハから聞いた。あいつすっげえへこんでたぞ。
そうなのか。
Yeah, it is so, okay? So even Agaha can feel down sometimes? She's so lively all the time. I got the impression she was the most composed person out of everyone.
どうして引き受けなかったんだ？
私はもう大人だからな。学生の頃みたいに。
Oh, dude, Anchan's gonna set her straight right now. Here it goes.
大人ね。そんな急に変わるもんか？
変わらなきゃいけないだろ。
Tatsuya graduated from school and became an adult much earlier than I did.
ま、そうなんだけどな。
Tatsuya started working on maintenance as he said that.
社会的に大人ってことになれば責任ってのが出てくるよな。自分のやったことに責任を持たなくちゃいけなくなる。でも実際そんなにちゃんと大人をやってる人間ほとんど見たことねえぞ。
そうなのか？
例えば俺なんてそうだ。まだこうやっておせっかい焼いて大人になる前の自分にしがみついてる。
達也がそうやって彼らに協力しているのは葵くんたちと親しいからだろ。
それもあるがそれだけじゃない。俺は好きなんだ。あいつらが飛んでるところを見るのが。
葵くんたちが飛んでいるところ。
Tatsuya nodded.
もうちょっと臭い言い方をすれば夢を託してるんだあいつらに俺たちのできなかったことをやってほしいってな
Tatsuya continued working on maintenance of the winch while he was talking, and I watched over him from the side.
この1年一度も飛んでいないんだろ
ああでもメンテはしとかないとな
The old winch was thoroughly maintained, even though they weren't using it this whole year. They wanted to be ready to fly any time. Thus, they haven't been neglecting its maintenance. As I was silent, Tatsuya gave me a sidelong glance.
1年前お前がいなくなった時あいつらすげえ寂しがってたぞお前別れも言わずにいなくなったんだって
It was too hard for me to say goodbye, because I knew I would want to stay there for a bit longer. That's why I wanted to leave without saying goodbye to anyone. However... Oh shit. I love you, Senpai.
Huh?
What's the matter? Huh?
なんでもない
Probably shouldn't tell Anchan about that. My face suddenly got hot, so I fanned myself.
お前ならわかるんじゃないか突然大切な誰かを失った気持ちいつかを失ったお前ならガレージもグライダーも取り上げられてそれでもあいつらはくじけずに今日までやってきたまるで誰かさんそっくりだよ
That someone is me, right?
言っとくけどあいつら本気だぞ葵は滑空場へ通い詰めてパイロット資格を取ったしアゲハとハバネさんはうちの工場にアルバイトに来てる
アルバイト
FRP やその他の加工技術を習いながら安いけどバイト代も出てるちなみにバイト代は現金じゃなくそれと同等のグライダー用の資材をうちの工場で仕入れてほしいとさ
そんなことまで
I put such a burden on them. Damn right you have.
お前今自分のせいでって思ったろ
いや
Tatsuya laughed and said that everything was written on my face.
お前のためにやってたとしてもお前のせいじゃないさ
どういう意味だ
結局のところあいつらはやりたいからやってるのさグライダーを作って飛ばすのが楽しいからそしてその夢をくれた先輩のことが好きだから
だから私のためだけれど私のせいではないのか
無理に大人になることなんてないそんなのその時が来れば勝手になるんだでも逆戻りはできないんだぜなら今やれることをせいぜい頑張った方が俺はいいと思うお前はいろいろ難しく考えすぎだ
As he said that, Tatsuya closed the winch cover. It seemed he'd finished the maintenance.
さてと帰るかどうする駅まで送ってってやろうか
うんいいもうしばらくここにいたいから
そうかじゃまたな
ありがとう達也
He grinned as I thanked him and left with his tools. Well then, once again I was left all alone on this vast runway. Suddenly a sense of loneliness filled my heart. You of all people should understand it, the feeling of suddenly losing someone precious to you. Because you lost Isuka.
同じことをしてしまっていたんだな
As I murmured, I imagined a glider being pulled by a winch and taking off from the runway lit by the evening sunlight. On that day, we began our first test flight from here. Yes, it was the first time that Isuka flew. The wings we made weren't good by any standard, so the first test went poorly. But it still remains a fond memory to me. We were surprised when the wings we had made actually flew.
あの感覚は不思議だったなグライダーが空を飛ぶのは当たり前のことなのに
Its fuselage is designed for flying after all. If it flew, that only meant it was properly assembled. But it felt miraculous and thrilling.
ワクワクしたんだ
Now that I think of it, my first test flight with Aoi-kun felt like this as well. Though back then I had to be the pilot, the fear and tension I had felt clearly dominated over the enjoyment. But I still don't think becoming the Soaring Club's advisor would be the right decision. I will cause trouble for someone again. I don't want anyone else to decide what is right for me. I suddenly remembered what Aoi-kun said. Those words reminded me of what someone else said. When was it, I wonder? It was Isuka. Yup.
正しいとか間違ってるとか僕はないと思う。それを決められるのは自分だけだ。だってそうだろ。誰かにとって正しくても他の誰かにとって間違ってるってことは
What she
たくさ
said.
んあるんだ。だから僕は僕にとって何が正しいか他人に決められるのなんてごめんだね。迷った時は自分の心に耳を澄ませるといい。あんたの正しい答えはそこにある。イスカに言われた言葉だ。
One time when I was worried, she said that to me with a smile. I remember being very surprised at the time, because until then, I thought that every problem has only one right answer. But Isuka laughed it off and told me there are as many right answers as there are people. I never thought of that. Isuka was a genius after all. Put a hand on my chest and listened to my heart. What I heard wasn't my own voice. It's not just about the memories. We want to protect the dream we had together with you, Amane-chan. I want to take you to the place that we couldn't reach that day. Is it wrong that I still feel that way? What I heard from my heart was everyone's voices. Stay true to your heart. The next day after school, we started carrying out the plan to get our confiscated glider back. But wait.
まずガレージの鍵をこっそり持ち出して鍵を開けておく。鍵を戻して夜忍び込むと。
We'll need to borrow a bicycle drawn trailer to transport it. We can't carry it by hand too far.
それでも人手が足りないわね。私は戦力にならないものね。
Actually, you shouldn't be doing anything at all.
どうしてよ。
Think what would happen if they found out.
そうそう。もしもの時は葵と私とでやったことにするから。なんでよ。私だけのけ者なんて許さないんだから。
Your situation is different from ours.
そうよ。いくらグライダーを取り戻すためとはいえ、小鳥がいなくなっちゃうかもしれないなんて。でも。
Anyway, we need to get the key first. I heard Tapioca's taking care of it, though.
いきなりの難関ね。何の相談？
Nothing. As she spoke so suddenly, it froze us in place as if we had just looked at Medusa. 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 Run up on the track, lick a shot for Medusa. Sorry, I'm getting real sidetracked now. Seeing you so frightened.
そんなにビビられるとちょっと気づくんだけど。
Nuh-uh.
あかりさん、嫌だな。私は別に
We're not doing anything bad.
ってしてませんよ。
Wow. Smooth, Agaha. Smooth.
そうよ。人聞き悪いこと言うのやめてもらいたいわね。
We'll sue you.
何の相談って声をかけただけ。
Nothing. No, it's nothing. Those two are just fooling around. We made stiff forced smiles as we frantically tried to deceive her. She looked at us with suspicion and sighed.
まあいいわ。それよりおめでとう、ソアリング。
Okay? What do you mean, soaring club? What? Just kidding. We already know, dude. We already know.
何が？まだ聞いていないの？
We looked at each other as we had no idea what she was talking about.
ソアリング部が正式に
Okay?
部活動へ復帰できることになったのよ。え？どうして？さっき望月先輩が職員室に来て、ソアリング部の顧問を引き受けると。
Oh, shit. Nice.
あまねちゃんが？
Hell yeah. We stared at Akari-san's beautiful face as if we saw something unbelievable. Our eyes made her wince slightly.
何人か反対なさった先生もいたようだけど、望月先輩はこうおっしゃってさよ。新しいコンセプトの風車をデザインするため、グライダー制作で得た知識を応用している。もしそれが認められないなら、講師の仕事も引き受けられない。あまねちゃんがそんなこと言ったの？
She said such a firm and definitive thing?
でそれは困るということですぐに許可が下りたらしいわ。一部を除いてうちの先生方は望月先輩には甘いのよね。
To the point that they let her repeat the same year so many times. There might have been more to it than simply having high hopes for a student. But
あまねちゃんがそんなこと言ってくれたんだ。おーい、涙ぐむにはまだ早いぞ。はいこれガレージ。
nice, we didn't have to steal it. They gave it to us. Katori took the key very carefully as if it was a drop of precious liquid she didn't want to spill.
でそのあまね先輩は今どちらに。さあもう帰ったみたいだけど。
Home? But why? Since Amane Senpai apparently left not too long ago, we dashed out of the school building to chase her.
全速力よ、葵くん。
You, yeah, leave it to me! I ran while I was pushing Katori's wheelchair. Then on the way... Oh god, Tapioca was walking along the road leading away from the gate. Yeah, suck on that, huh? As soon as he recognized us, he glared at us with irritation. We passed by him, feigning ignorance. Goodbye, Sensei!
さようなら。
Sayonara! And I don't acknowledge your existence, bitch. As we passed him, we heard his sharp remark. His face was red from frustration. Katori turned back towards him.
あかってー。
We were in a hurry. We had something more important to do than getting back at him. So we left it at Katori's quick gesture. Bye-bye. She should have flipped him off. Maybe that's what she did do. Whoosh. The wind from the lake was brushing the summer grass covering the runway. It seemed as if time had stopped here 1 year ago. But it only felt that way to me. It had appeared to be the same at first, but in reality a lot had changed. The grass was overgrown and full of insect life. Iron normally rusts away and decays, but Tatsuya and those guys maintained the winch and kept it clean the whole time. My world had been monotone, like an old faded photo, but, for some reason, just the sky alone was blue.
そうか。私は楽しんでたんだ。
I had been staying in the soaring club just to keep my promise with Isuka. However, I had started to enjoy making gliders and flying with the others before I even realized it. No, that's not quite true. I felt that way even when Isuka was here. Fun. I'd never truly had fun before until I met Isuka. Gliders fly through the sky. It's something perfectly ordinary, so why is it so fun?
どうも私はまだ苦手なようだ。
Oh man.
楽しむってことが。
I'm just... I... Forgive me if I'm digressing a little bit, but I'm just imagining the things that are going to happen in the future of this playthrough or this read-through between Aoi and Amane, where she says stuff like this, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. I'm just imagining it in my head like, oh my god, I can't wait. Just saying. Anyway.
バカだからな。
Indeed. As I murmured this to myself, I heard some voices in the distance. I hear you! Amane Senpai! I saw Katori, Agatha, and Aoi-kun running towards me. At that moment, I felt not just the sky, but the whole world glittering. My chest throbbed as my heart pounded excitedly, because you fell in love with all three of them! It was from my expectations for the future that was just beginning, and from my nostalgic memories. Before I knew it, I was running as well.
はーいみんな
She never was good with mobility and mechanics, you know what I'm saying? Senpai, are you alright?
先輩
And she died. I'm just kidding. Falling down like this wasn't so bad. It hurt a little, but it reminded me of where I am. And I felt a little embarrassed by how I got everyone worried about me. Well then. Neat! Alright. I wonder if this is a good place to stop. Maybe. I need a good place to stop. It's probably a good place to stop, huh? I should just stop. Just quit before you get sucked into the next situation. So you know what? We got a little flashback here with Isuka. We'll start right here in the next one. hope you guys are glad that this is back. Again, I'm not going to guarantee that this is going to be a regular running series, like in terms of like, it's not going to be consistent, but I will record it when I have time and I feel like, you know, reading for a couple hours like I did today. So now that we're firmly implanted into the Amane path, I'm assuming the rest of the story is just going to have to be, you know, full on read the whole thing. There's not going to be any more to skip. And yeah, I wonder how much longer it's going to be, because we haven't even started to get into the relationship stuff. But now that we got Amane back, I'm certain all the construction and the relationship stuff is bound to begin fairly quickly. I'm just wondering if it's going to feel as rushed as some of this stuff has today in this reading session, because everything in the Kotori path was so dragged out. Every conversation with every little thing, like all these things we glossed over when all the time passed over a year, most of that stuff had its own scenes and own conversations and was reiterated multiple times before we ever got to the point where we're at right now, where Amane already agreed to reinstate the club. That took a while, and we're already there, so that's good. Anyways, again, for those of you who've been waiting for me to come back with this, we're here. We may not have gotten to the kinky stuff yet, but I'm sure it's on the way. And I'm also curious to just see how the story differs in general, not just because of the kinky stuff. That's just a bonus. Yeah, again, get hyped for more If My Heart Had Wings. Good times, guys, good times. I'll see you guys next time. We'll start from here, and peace out!